Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Angie.
And together we are TwinFinity.
Happy 11/11 Day. This is a very significant day for a lot of reasons, but for us personally, if you know our story, it's a very special day because it's kind of an anniversary of when Rob woke up.
Woke up?
You woke up?
Oh boy. Could be one of these videos.
Oh, for sure. I forgot to even...
My sweater isn't
sticking nicely.
sitting well. Nope.
Oh dear.
I tried to dress up my sweater, but I still can't take it anywhere.
No, it's okay. So I was going to say, I don't even know how many years it's been. Do you know? 2014.
So that would be 8.
8 years since Rob woke up to our twin flame connection.
I have troubles comprehending that it's been 1 year since our last 11/11 video. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, time's just going.
Summer felt long, but looking at it from a whole year point of view, blink. Where did it go?
Yes. So we've been debating on a topic for this video, and I wanted to do something significant because it's like a huge kind of, it's not just an 11/11 day. As you know, it's a full moon eclipse, and there's just so much energy and portal stuff, and it's like hugely significant. But Spirit kept bringing me back to this topic, so I'm like, fine. Because if you've been on this journey long enough, you know that there's no point in arguing with Spirit. It's just, if you're told to do something, it's just easier to do it. So I did argue, but I'm still here.
Yeah, we bounced around with numerous ideas and topics.
Yes.
And then, of course, I have to come up with a cliche. I was kind of a little bit agreeing with and kind of stomping on the topics that we had. But apparently I had to have half a heart, much like what I have beside me right now on this side.
Half a heart.
Half a heart.
We
got lots of hearts. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. We thought we should
turned
have
on everything.
All of them because union energy is truly about unicorns and rainbows.
Do you realize we have a unicorn kissing a rainbow?
Yeah, isn't that cute?
I don't think we did that on purpose.
No, I didn't. I actually just snuggled them close up so they would be all snuggled in the video. Yeah,
like we are.
Like we're snuggled. We're blocking our lights because we're snuggled. Anyway, I interrupted you. We're all over the place. We're sorry. We're just full of kind of energy. Welcome to 11/11 Day.
Yes,
the energy.
Yes, it's sometimes just the way it is. And you don't have to have an 11/11 day to have sometimes wonky energy or very stable energy. It just comes and goes. And
no, eclipses and full moons will do that to you too.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah,
it could be it.
Now, did you have a point to make or no?
No, I don't think I have any specific points yet. I'm ready to dive into our topic.
Okay, so what's funny is we usually have exactly 11 points when we want to discuss something, and this time we have more than 11, so we're calling it 11 benefits of music on the Twin Flame journey, but you're getting more than 11.
There's going to be...
There's bonus points.
We're not even going to number them. We're just going to kind of ramble through because...
Totally.
Because if we start to number them, then we'll have a 15-point, 11-point video, which is kind of how my day went so far.
Yeah. So, as I said, it was Spirit's more guidance to talk about this topic, which I was like, really? There's so many other things we could talk about?
Oh.
But it does relate to our journey, and I know it relates to many people's journey because music is such a powerful connector for everybody. Honestly, I mean, you don't have to be a twin flame to get messages and communication through music, but for twin flames, it's a very powerful way of communicating. And I know for us, when we were coming into union 8 years ago, it was a huge thing. Like, we got so many songs telepathically. Rob would send me song after song. So it is fitting, since we're celebrating an 11/11 anniversary. It's a good topic.
You know, and the topic of music can mean so much to so many different people. because there's music like what we would hear on the radio or download from the internet as far as standard old music where you got music and you got lyrics. But there's toning, there's chanting, um, just
Singing bowls.
yeah, there's all sorts of things. Humming, whistling. I know sometimes when I'm at work or if I'm working on my train set out in the garage, I'll have maybe a repeating loop of of 10 seconds of song that I will whistle non-stop through an entire 2 hours of working on my train. It's the same 10 seconds over and over and over and over again. I'm sure that a psychologist would have a diagnosis for that. There's no diagnosis for what music can do for you, though. Because for its own reasons, music can touch people in so many different ways that it became impossible for us to put it into only 11 points.
Yes. We have tons. And I didn't even pretty them up. Normally I write them on numbers. And I have them all point by point. And I'm like, whatever. We're just going to chat and share. And you'll probably have other ones. So feel free in the comments to add your own, because I know as Twin Flames, this is a powerful method of communicating, and it triggers lots of things. It can trigger memories, it can trigger wounds, it can trigger healing. So yeah, lots comes up with music.
A lot of times music matters from the point of view of, is music coming to you or did you choose the music?
Oh, that's a good point.
When you're, let's say, listening to the radio, you're more likely to be triggered than anything because the music that's coming at you is random. It might be soothing one song, triggering the next. Where if you're choosing your own music, most people don't choose triggering music, or at least what you would call negatively triggering music to listen to. Like they're not out there trying to upset themselves. Most of the time, music, when you choose it yourself, is at some level calming. And calming can lead towards being meditative. And meditative could be, well, in most cases, when a person is choosing to be meditative, they're looking to raise their vibration. And that is one of the points that I see here that Angie wrote down. Raises your vibration.
Yes. But it's interesting when you said people mostly don't choose music that's going to trigger a negative emotion per se. And I would agree with you most of the time. But sometimes when you just have to get those emotions out, music is great for that. Have you ever had it where you just really need to cry but you can't? So you pick the right music that's going to make you cry? I used to do that all the time, and I don't know how many videos we've shared this in, our story videos for sure. So if you're not familiar with our story videos, we'll link it somewhere so that you can find that playlist. But one thing I used to do all the time, and I wrote it on the list here, was the Dan Fogelberg song called Missing You. I used to drive and play that song over and over and over again because I didn't know what else to do when I was missing Rob so much. When we were having this huge 5D connection and telepathy and all of that, but not a lot happening in 3D. So I was missing him so much, and it was just agony. So I would surrender into that feeling and go, okay, fine. So I'd just play that song over and over and drive and just cry and get it out till I felt better.
Elton John says, sad songs say it so much.
There you go. Yes.
I still wouldn't choose it for that reason. But that's me. That's why music is so much across the whole board. Music has been called the universal language.
Yes.
Up until the time you add words. But that's okay.
But even if you add words and you don't understand the words, a lot of the times you can understand the emotion, or
yeah, you can hear it.
You can feel it. So it's still got the power to touch you, even if the words don't make sense. I mean, have you ever listened to a song in a different language and still you can feel it?
Why am I having an Elton John night?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Apparently, you like Elton John.
a word in Spanish.
There you go.
Yeah, he didn't understand. Hmm.
Yeah, that's true. So another point I have is it eases pain, which is exactly what it did for me when I was missing you so much. I would play the missing you song, and it helped me feel the pain, but then it also eased it by feeling it because I had to just get it out, you know. Yeah.
I
Um.
I understand that, but I'll say it again. I I don't think I very often have chosen to hear a sad song so that I could get in touch with the sadness so then I could lose the sadness,
Hmm.
as opposed to having it just hanging around where I can't do
Okay.
anything with it.
That's fair too.
But but some people do that. I
A
think
lot of them.
we're gonna hear from I think a lot of people that are gonna say that that actually works.
A friend of mine and I, this again, if you know our story videos, I think her name in the videos is Beth. We changed everybody's name, of course.
To protect the innocent.
Of course, yes. And I've known her since shortly after I met Rob, way back in 1997. We met in our Reiki class, and we're still friends 25 years later. And we share a song together that we both love, and it's called "Just Remember I Love You." And
Oh yeah.
yeah, because it's our way of reminding ourselves and each other how much we love each other, because we are definitely soul friends. We know each other from several different past lives. But there's a lyric in there, and I'm trying to remember it now. But it's something like when the something like when you want to cry but the tears won't come, and that line alone does it for me when I need it to. Oh, see, it's going to do it right now. I can get teary just thinking of that line, and just the tune of the song. Even though the lyrics are pretty, the tune is sad. So sometimes you don't even need to hear the words. It's just the melody itself makes you sad. And sometimes we need that because we need to feel those emotions, and there might be something blocking it. And that's what I love about music is it circumvents and it goes around the left brain, and it can get into the right brain and trigger emotions, trigger memories, trigger feelings, all sorts of things. And if you remember even the Trisha Yearwood song,
Mm-hmm.
it's literally a song called "The Song Remembers When," and it's so appropriate because
That it does.
yeah, because songs can trigger a memory. Like, you know, if you've not heard a song for years and then you hear it, and you can almost remember exactly what you were doing when you last heard it, or where you were, or what was going on in your life. It's just fascinating how music can touch us that way. And that's because it touches the right brain, the creative brain.
I have a dog.
Are you getting demanded? Cookie just whapped his leg like, hey, pay attention to me. Who cares about music? I am the center of your world. Spoiled dog. What else did I write on here? It boosts creativity. If you ever, like, how often do we put on music when we're doing something creative, whether it's writing or drawing or even cooking? I don't like to cook, but the few times that I do cook, I often will put on music.
Building train sets.
Yes.
Yep. Sometimes I've got music wired into the garage, and sometimes I'll put on an album's worth of music, and you know, sometimes music can keep you going because when I'm working without music, sometimes I can stare at something at my train set, and a half an hour goes by, and I've barely moved.
Yeah,
I've
you're
breathed.
just like stuck.
I've just breathed well enough to support life. But if a couple of songs go by and I'm stuck on the same thing, I'll think, wait a minute, I really am stuck here. I'll get out of the almost the daydream of trying to solve whatever I'm working on, and go work on something else, and then come back. And the music for me helps my creativity because it keeps me going as opposed to being stuck and not being creative. So, yeah, music can help pace you if you need help with pacing.
Well, and why it helps with creativity is because it activates the chakras, and different tones, different tunes, different notes activate different chakras. Like if you've ever been on YouTube or other platforms, you can actually Google different music for different chakras to activate or heal. And it's really powerful. And the same with singing bowls. The different size of
Different
bowls.
tones.
Yeah, they activate and clear different chakras. So it's really healing too. And that's something, I think that's honestly the most powerful thing of music is that it heals. Music is, like Rob said, it's like a universal language. So it heals us on a different level because it speaks to us on a cellular level, on an emotional level. It doesn't just speak to the mind, right? It speaks to the body, to the emotions, to the feelings.
Yeah.
What else did I have on here?
You've already talked about telepathic communication?
Well,
You touched on it.
yeah, I wanted to go there. I was going to do that later, but we're here, so we'll do that now. Um, this is one that I'm sure many of you relate to because music often is telepathic communication between twins. Is you'll hear a song, or not only will you hear it on a radio or something, you might just hear it playing in your head, like Rob was saying, like a part of a song will just loop through your head
Endless
over and
loop.
over. And sometimes you're not even aware of it until you finally like become consciously aware of it, and then you'll hear the words, and you'll be like, "What does that mean?" Or you won't even know the song, and you'll go look it up. You'll Google and read the lyrics, and you'll be like, "Holy crap! Like, is that not my twin speaking to me, or what?" I don't know how many times I've had that happen, especially when we were coming into union. Um, I was actually going to dig out one of my old journals and share it in this video, but we've shared it in other videos, so I thought I'd just refer you to those other videos. But yeah, so many songs he would give me as messages, right? And they're not like, it's not like your twin is consciously doing this, of course, and they probably aren't even aware of it. If you said, "Hey, you sent me this song," they'd be like, "What?" But yet on a soul level, on a 5D level, this is their way of communicating with you, because music is, like Rob said, it's a universal language, but it's also the language of the soul. So it can tap into that part of us that might not be able to be reached other ways, from logical frozen. So
It is freezing outside.
yes, but luckily not in here. So
Not
our
in here.
computer has no reason to freeze up.
Even though it's trying.
Yes. The other thing that music can do is trigger feelings that might be blocked. Like often, of course, on this journey, it's not very easy. So we can close down. We can sort of block away feelings or thoughts or memories that we don't want to feel, we don't want to think about, we don't want to remember. And music has a great way of kind of getting in there. It sneaks around the back door.
It certainly does.
Yeah.
Especially that random music. Once in a while at work, I drive customers around. And of course, when I've dropped off a customer, I'm driving back to work. I'll turn on the radio, and usually because I'm driving either someone else's vehicle or a company vehicle that someone else usually uses more often than I do, I don't touch the radio. I just turn it on and listen to whatever they've been listening to, so I don't like take things off of where it was. So I get a broad base of music, and inevitably listening to 3 or 4 songs driving back to the dealership in 20 minutes, there'll be a line in some song that'll just create a thought, and then that gets that thought or the song itself gets stuck as an earworm in my brain.
Yes. And I find, oh, sorry.
But most of the time, I find it's because I kind of needed to hear it.
Exactly.
Just like working on my train set, something was stuck inside of me that I didn't realize was stuck usually. And then I'll hear that lyric and I'll go, there's a little bit of wisdom in there. Where can I apply
Yeah.
that? Why why is this why is this hanging around me? And then it gives me food for not thought, but just food for dwelling on. And then sometimes it's a matter of seconds, and sometimes it's a matter of days. All of a sudden, something will happen, and it'll come back, and it'll be relevant, and it'll help me get past a spot.
Yeah. And often there is a message, right? Like I've said, if you've got a song that's playing over and over and again, and you go read the lyrics, and you're like, oh, now I get why. And it might be a song you've never even heard before. Um, Slightly on a different topic, not of like a new message, but I can remember the first time I heard the song. I know the name, but I'm trying to remember the lady's name. Sarah Bareilles, Brave. I don't know if you're familiar with that song, but it just triggered me so deeply. I was still with my karmic at the time, who again didn't know till years later, till Rob and I were together, that he was and is a narcissist in this lifetime. And the song was all about be brave enough to speak up for yourself. And of course, in that relationship, I had no voice. My throat chakra was so closed. So that song triggered so much emotion in me that it actually started me um, ending that relationship. It was the start of the end because I was learning from just that song to speak up, because that's totally what the song is saying, is be brave enough to say what you need to say and communicate what you need to communicate, and don't be afraid of getting hurt or being chastised or all of these things. And it triggered me so deeply. And that's what I love about music, is it evokes so much emotion in us, whether it's a positive or negative or a sad or whatever. But for me, this one was like, it's time. It's time to face this, speak up for myself, and move on. And that's part of how we got together, is because I started speaking up and going, no, I'm not willing to live this way anymore. And of course, that didn't go well with a narcissist, because it's their way or the highway. And the highway it was, which worked great for us.
See? Songs create change.
Yes.
And even just even just the chanting or even humming, like for example in a monastery, where they're just lost in a zen zone. They don't go there for no reason whatsoever. They go there because they get aha moments. So whether it's droning or chanting, or if even just standard songs, a lot of times music is an influencer of change.
Yeah, totally. And along with change, the thing that just came to me when you were saying that was hope. How many times have you listened to music to get hope? Right? You can be just like, I don't know how I'm going to carry on. And again, especially on this journey, because it can be so hard and so painful at times. I don't know how many times I've listened to some of our songs throughout the years that we were apart, the many 17 years that we were apart, and listened to songs just to have hope, just to think of those times and remember those times. There's also songs that I would listen to, and not necessarily for hope, but I'd hear them and they would just trigger such emotion of the time when we were together, and then make me miss him more. One of those again is "Eye in the Sky" by Alan Parsons. And still, that song evokes so much emotion in me. I'll remind myself when I hear it, I'll be like, it's okay, we're together now. Like, it's okay. But still, it just makes me not sad, but I don't even know, I don't know how to describe the feeling, but it's so much emotion comes up. And it's interesting, one of the lyrics in that song is, I am the eye in the sky. And how does it go? I'm always watching you, or something?
Yeah,
something like that. So it's just kind of like a hopeful tune, in the sense of, it's like I take it as Rob Soul saying, I'm always with you, and because his soul is my soul, right? So it's like I'm always there, I'm always with you, I'm always watching you, and it's just such a beautiful kind of lyric to feel.
I am the eye in the sky looking at you. I can read your mind.
That's what it is. I can read your mind.
Yes.
Oh, just brings back so much emotion even now for me.
Music is also an educator. Uh, when Angie and I first got together in 1997, I played her a ton,
Yes, you
ton
did.
of my music.
Yes.
But the music itself, I was playing what would be a reflection of what I liked. So in essence, it also was of a reflection of who I am and what I appreciate. It was educating Angie as to what was important to me, what I like to hear, what reinforces my who I am.
Totally. Have you not, with any relationship, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship or especially a twin flame relationship, looked at somebody's music collection? Like you go over to their house, they've invited you over for whatever reason, and they're off in the bathroom or they're cooking or whatever they're doing.
Check out their stack of CDs if they still have them.
Always have done that because it tells you so much about a person. Who are they? What kind of music do they like? What bands do they like? What artists do they like? And even not only like the actual music, but how is it organized? Is it alphabetical? Is it all scattered? Are the CDs out all over the place, or the records, or the tapes, or the whatever? It just tells you so much about a person. It's really, I love doing that.
And when it comes back to looking at the person who's doing all this analysis, it also gives you a pretty good idea of how nosy they are.
Totally. How nosy and analytical.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's how I often would.
Why do you have this out? And it seems to me that you seem to like this artist. What do you like about them? Is this an interrogation or what? I'm just listening to this music.
For me, it tells a lot about a person. Like, do they alphabetize their CDs like I do?
Oh.
Do they put their name in every single CD like I do? Do they put all of their artists together and then in order of oldest CD to newest, or oldest record, whatever you want to go by, to newest? And I'm even talking CDs, which dates us. Now they don't even have CDs.
I was going to say, how do you analyze somebody's hard drive?
Oh, still easily, because
how do you get to somebody's hard drive?
Well, there's that. You got to get on their computer and get their iTunes list.
Let's go back to this nosy comment that I made.
But didn't you have fun when you finally digitized all your music last year? And you organized it into playlists. Remember I taught you how to do playlists, and you had a real good strategy of how you did it. Totally different from mine. Completely different from mine. But it was really, really good. Do you remember that? You're looking at me like I got 4 eyes.
Well, I do remember doing all that.
It was awesome!
And then I brought my CDs back downstairs and plugged them into my CD player, and I haven't listened to anything that we put on the hard drive. But at least I know it's there as a backup.
Because he hasn't graduated to, like, digital music yet.
Hang on. And I got to make this comment. CDs are digital. They're just not... I
don't know what the right word is. I'm probably using the wrong word for digital. I don't know.
Yeah.
But now I don't even buy CDs. I just download my music off iTunes because
I just have no new music.
No, you don't.
I listen to it on the radio. And then a new song will come up, and I'll comment on it, and Angie will go, "How did you know that song? And who does it?"
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, there's lots you can tell about a person by their music and
how much they're stuck in the past.
That's right. That's right. Now, 2 other points I wanted to make is one that you had said. I really like this. You had said it's
medicating.
Yes, I can't even read my own writing. I'm glad he can.
And it becomes self-meditating.
Yeah.
I touched on that a little bit earlier.
Yes, you did, and I really liked it, so I kind of wanted you to elaborate, because I think it's nice when you say self-medicating. So often we can medicate ourselves just by music because it releases pain, it makes us feel joy, it makes us feel. That's the thing. It just, whatever it makes us feel is the fact that it makes us feel. And how many people in our society live here to here and not down here, right?
Where
so
it feels.
Music gets you into your feelings. As one of my really close friends says, it puts you in your feels. I'm all in my feels right now. It's her new thing, and I love that expression. I'm in my feels.
When you're having troubles getting into your feels, to use the term that I've just heard for the first time, sometimes you do want that. So, yes, you have to medicate yourself to get there. Try to give yourself a little bit of direction. And, yeah, to medicate, to get to meditate.
Yes. Yes, I just really like that. Okay,
Yes.
come on up. And then you had said it allows clarity, which totally, because as you embrace feelings, as you process feelings, as you release feelings, it does bring clarity. And as we all know on this journey, there's lots of feelings that we want to feel and don't want to feel and are trying to run from and are trying not to face. And music is really good for being able to do that.
Oftentimes, when people are trying to get into union or in some level of fresh union, they leave the music behind and they just spend time communicating with their twin. They just try so hard to just communicate. That's all fine and dandy, but I would really recommend throwing in some music at a minimum along the way. Sometimes just to break things up a bit, but also to give it a chance to have the thought processes that are happening, because a lot of conversations are about thinking, not about feeling.
Right.
Give yourself a chance to feel again.
Yeah.
By having some music, quiet time.
Yeah. And I think it's also great to share music, even if you and your twin don't have similar taste, which quite often, honestly, is the common thing. Because yes, we're twins, but that doesn't mean we're identical in every way. Often we're opposites in some ways. So you may have similar tastes and you may not. But I think it's great to share music with each other because it can communicate things that you might want to be communicating but don't know how to say in your own words. Like, isn't there, funny enough, an Elton John? Somebody out here is wanting Elton John, though. I don't even really care for Elton John. No offense if you do. It's just not my...
I had another Neil Diamond song in my mind.
Now, Neil Diamond. Now we're talking.
See, I'm still stuck in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, there's new generations.
Neil who?
Neil who?
Elton what?
But doesn't Elton John have a song about words? I put it in words.
Not that I can think of where you're going right off the bat, so I'm going to have to skip that.
There is.
See, this is the thought. We could have gone through we could have spent hours going through all of our music trying to find examples.
Oh,
but at the same time,
then we never got a video done.
A lot of people are going to get done with this video and go into their music collection and just listen to a song just simply because they've had a song come to their mind and they just got to hear it again.
Yeah.
Music can be triggering.
Yeah. Very.
Triggers do not always have to be negative.
No, absolutely not. They can trigger great memories, great experiences. I mean, how many times do we listen to an old Dan Fogelberg song?
There's no new ones.
That's true.
I'm just being that way. My fault. I didn't mean to do that.
Yes, you did. I mean old as in from our first time around, when Rob and I were very new to each other, and he sat me down on his couch and played his whole greatest hits of Dan Fogelberg. And I've never heard of the artist in my life, and yet I knew a bunch of the songs, which was really funny.
That often happens. You've got way more songs in your mind than you have artist and titles.
Yeah.
And somebody else, it can almost be reassuring when someone else hits on a bunch of songs that they like, but you've also had just locked in your mind for no particular reason, but you've always liked them too. It's almost a reassurance that, hey, there's another form of connection here.
Yeah. And speaking of that connection, can you share? I know we've shared it in other videos, but your Drops of Jupiter. I'm surprised you haven't talked about it yet.
I was going to let you bring that up first.
Oh,
Drops
I
of
have to
Jupiter
bring it
by Train. That song just completely reminds me of Angie. Yes. Out by the Milky Way, you were for a very long time.
Yeah, back in the olden days when I was completely in 5D and living in spirituality and not grounded in 3D at all, not at all balanced.
But yet, the artist who's singing the song, Train, the group. Anyway, it's from a point of view of, when you're out there, you're doing your bit. When you finally come back, I'll still be here, and do you still remember me? It's just got that feel to it where, you're free to just go do what you need to do, and like, okay, did Venus blow your mind? That's great, but I'm still here. And it's just such a song that reminds me of us. I call it Angie's theme song.
When you're done living in the clouds and out in all the other planets, are you going to come back to me?
Yeah.
Because I'm still here waiting for you. What a nice thing to call my theme song. That's nice. And what's really funny is it talks about soy lattes, and I drink soy lattes.
You always wait for that little portion of the
I
song.
love that portion of the song.
2.5 seconds of the song is worth waiting the whole song for.
It just fits so well. And you didn't even know that a long time ago when you were hearing that song, and we were in no communication at all, and he'd hear the song and think of me. And I was drinking soy lattes, just like the song said. It's pretty cool.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
For me. Maybe not for others.
So, one last point I think I have. I don't know if you have more. Often people ask, when we do our question and answer videos, they ask, does the masculine energy get songs like the feminine? Because the feminine gets pounded with songs, either in telepathy or like they'll hear songs and they'll know it's their twin communicating with them through music, or they'll know it's a song that they are trying to communicate with to their twin in a way. So they often say, though, but does the masculine get this? Do they hear songs and think of me? Perfect example. Yes, they do.
Oftentimes the masculine energy is stuck thinking, stuck in the left brain.
Yes.
If anything, this is my opinion. It doesn't necessarily have to be a truth, but my opinion is if anything is gonna get past the left brain, it's gonna be some form of music. If anything is gonna make an inroad.
Yeah.
So does the masculine get it? If anything's going to do it, it'll be the music. So I'm going to say yes, it's one of the greatest influencers on the masculine left brain thinking.
Yeah. And I think that's a great answer to finish on, because that is what so many people want to know.
I'm going to check the list one more time, just in case I see something else.
Okay.
But that was a pretty good ending point. Deep, pain, creativity, telepathic communication, vibration,
now you're getting the fast
memories.
version.
The song Remembers When.
There we go. The Trish Yearwood song.
That's where we started.
Yeah.
We started at point 8, if that really matters.
Infinity. There we go.
Right brain. Yes, activates right brain, cuts through logical mind.
Which is exactly what you just addressed, which I love.
That was point 9.
Completion.
I might have to go listen to some music. No, I'm going to have supper. Then I'm going to maybe listen to some music. How about lunch?
Oh, dear. Oh. Okay. You're just going to have every meal. There we go.
All right.
All right. So hopefully this was entertaining. It was different than our normal style of an 11 video, but we just felt guided to do something more light. There's a lot of heaviness, at least for some of us, me included, feeling all of this intense energy with this portal and I was going to say these eclipses. There's only one.
There's only one.
It feels like many, that's for sure.
When it's done, we got to wait 3 more years. It's going to be a long time.
I'm okay with that. This one was a little rough on me. I don't know if it's been rough on you guys, but if it has, my heart goes out to you. Go listen to some music that'll ease your pain or bring it out. Whatever works.
It was cloudy out. I missed it.
Yeah, we didn't actually see it.
But it was still there.
It was. And some people got good pictures of it.
Yeah.
We did not.
Total eclipse of the heart.
I'm trying to wrap up and he keeps saying more stuff.
It's like when I'm in octopus mode and I'm giving her a hug, and no matter what she does to squirm away, she just finds a different
it's like
hand.
He has
different
8 arms, and that's why I call him an octopus. Because yeah, you'd be like, so you're octopusing the video now?
I kind of am.
Okay.
I'll let it go.
Thank you. Happy 11/11. Celebrate however you like.
Pizza!
Yes, that's how we celebrate. Because it's our anniversary. One of many. All right, we love you guys. We'll be back with another video. Probably another question-answer video sometime. I was going to say soon, but
soon,
it's not
soon,
that soon.
Soon from an angelic point of view.
Okay, yes, there we go.
That could be weeks. We don't want to take weeks.
It is what it is. All right, goodbye.
Catch you later. Bye.